why you're not allowed to put on, according to the Bishimon, why you're not allowed to carry a ner if you're afraid that it's going to go out. The ner, it's a davar she'enu mitkaven, and the Bishimon is matir b'davar she'enu mitkaven. Says the Gemara, Ela Amar Rava, Hanach lener shemen upetila. Ner shemen upetila. The reason why it's muktzeh, ho'il dena'asa basis ledavar ha'asur, because it's a basis ledavar ha'asur. You're not the shalhevet is considered davar shel isur, because maybe because it's enu min hamuchan, maybe because it's if you pull it out it's gonna go out, and therefore the whole ner is there to support this shalhevet. The flame.
But the flame is not a physical object. How can it be basis?
It still has a davar isur. If you pull it out, it's going to go out. That makes it isur. That's what it's there for, right? The whole thing is there to support this flame. That's all.
How does it make something else a basis?
The whole thing is a basis to that. That's what it's for. Rashi, l'shalhevet, tebechi hai muktzeh by basis moder bishimon. Shakol tafel, or shalhevet itself, even a bishimon is moder. Shakol tafel l'shalhevet be'oda bo. Not because he's afraid that it's going to go out, but because the shalhevet is a dvar isur. Not clear. Maybe he holds like a rock. Muktzeh mehamak gufo. Mishum dehayish lichbiyah. Basis moshav et kano, right? By the kior it says et kior ve'et kano metargeminan v'yat besiseh. Right? So it's a support. It's a moshav for that. So therefore, everything, when you have a basis, the basis becomes tafel to the item that it's supporting. Let's see. Amar Rabbi Zera, Amar Rav Asi, Amar Rabbi Yohanan, Amar Rabbi Hanina, Amar Rabbi Rumanus. Not a common Tana. Amar Rabbi Rumanus, or Amorah. Li hetir Rabbi. Rabbi gave me the heter, letaltel mahta be'efra. To carry a mahta is a fire pan. They used to put coals in it to keep them warm. Or this one was Rashi says this one was a mahta shelivona. They would put incense in it in order to make the house smell good. Let's see. Amar Romanus in Rashi. Li hitira bila taltel mahta shelivona. A mahta, fire pan with incense in it, be'efra, with the ashes. Kasal kadaitach be'efra, im efra ka'amar. Im efra, with the efer. Sha'efer muktzeh, the efer is muktzeh, right? Because it burnt on Shabbat and it wasn't mukhan before Shabbat. V'lo hayu tzirichim lo, and they didn't want that efer. V'ashmeinan the agav mahta, along with the mahta, the ika torat keli aleha. The mahta itself is considered a keli. Tiltela im efra, he moved it with the efer. So it's the opposite of a basis. Here you have the mahta. Is full of efer, and we say because the mahta has a torat keli, we say that the efer is batel to the mahta. Whereas now, before we were saying that the shalhevet, the whole ner is batel to the shalhevet. Amar le Rabbi Zera le Rav Asi, mi amar Rabbi Yochanan hachi. Did Rabbi Yochanan say that you're allowed to carry the mahta be'efra? Behatenam we learned notel adam et beno ve'ha'even biyado. You're allowed to carry your son with a stone in his hand, right? Or kalkala, or a basket, va'evin betocha, with the stone in the basket. So leave the son aside. I have a basket, and it has a stone in it. L'chaura, according to the Rabbi Manus, we should say, since the kalkala is a torat keli, you're allowed to carry it, and the stone doesn't affect it. Ve'amar Rabba Babarhana, Amar Rabbi Yochanan, we're talking about a basket that's full of perot. Ta'ama, the reason why you let it carry it, to eat bepere. Halet bepere lo. Rashi, haleka pere. The keli na'aseh basis le'evim v'tefela lo. Ubatel torat keli dideh. Meaning the whole keli becomes a basis to the evin. So now the keli is there, ki'ilu, to support the evin, to support the stone. Batel torat keli did it loses its torat keli. V'achinami, let's say, na'asit mahta the pan becomes a basis to the efer. But Rabbi Yochanan shaminan le'el, the Rabbi Yehuda sfira le, that the ash is l'chara muktzeh because they're not min hamukhan. Now, okay. So what is he even saying? He says because it has perot, it's mutar. Because what? Because the keli is a basis l'davar mutar veha asur. Masha'enkin, if we just have an even, that's we're getting there. So the Gemara says, Ishtomem kesha'a hada. He didn't have an answer for him right away. Ve'amar, and then he said, Hachanami de'it bekartin. He says, you're right. It must be that there was ashes, but there was still some pieces of livonah that didn't burn yet. So it was a basis l'davara mutar ve'asur. The kartin is mutar, and the efer is muktzeh, and it's like the kalkala mele'a perot va'even betocha. I'm not burning it. It went out.
The one that's left over.
I could smell it. I could smell it.
Or does it smell like burning it?
It smells plain. Achinami de'it bekartin. Rashi, de'it bekartin shenishtairu min ha'ur. Left over from the fire. Ve'levona dehazia lehariach. You could smell the levona. Ve'agav levona metaltel machta. Along with the levona, you metaltel the machta imifra. Dumya de kalkala mele'a perot va'even betocha. Meaning when you estimate the kalkala, you have perot is chashuv, the even is not as chashuv. It's a basis l'davar mutar va'asur it's mutar. So to over here, I have the kartin is chashuv, the efer is not chashuv. Now the machta is a base for mutar and asur. It doesn't lose its torat keli. It has something mutar. Says the Gemara. So that was his answer. He says, Kenuna agav kitma, not kenuna agav kitma, sorry, the machta be'efra with kartin. Even though it had efer, the kartin made it okay. Says the Gemara, is that true? Amar Abaye, kartin be'Rabbi mi hashivi. In Rabbi's house, you think they went through the thing to pick out the kartin? Rabbi was ashir. They didn't go through the pan to take out little pieces of livona. To Rabbi, that was garbage. It wasn't hashuv. Look at Rashi. Kartin shel shiur livona be'Rabbi tenasi ve'ashir hava mi hashivi. Now, just a point. It never bothered me before, but Rabbi, we'll see in a minute. Rabbi Rumanus, did he lived in Rabbi's house? Maybe Rabbi told him at home he's allowed to do it. Rabbi gave me a head to say I did it in front of Rabbi. I don't know. So the Gemara says, now Gemara proves this point. V'chi teima, what are you going to say? Hazul aniyim. Jackson, give it to the aniyim. V'hatanya, we learned, bigdei aniyim la'aniyim. Clothes that are ra'ui fa'aniyim are not muktzeh fa'aniyim. Bigdei ashirim are good, are considered mukhan la'ashirim. Aval de'aniyim la'ashirim lo. Look at Rashi. Bigdei aniyim shalosh al shalosh etzba'ot. Right? So a patch. Ashir is going to put a patch on his clothes. So to him it's garbage. Or shehutan aveh. Or it's made from coarse clothing. Ashir wouldn't wear it. Now that's maybe a chidush. Have begadim la'aniyim la'inyan tumah. They consider begadim fa'aniyim with regards to tumah. Bigdei ashirim shelosha al shelosha, three tefahim by 3 tefahim. Havu begadim la'ashirim. That's considered a beged fa'ashirim. V'kol shken la'aniyim. Of course, it's a beged fa'aniyim. Aval bigdei aniyim la'ashirim lo have a beged gabayu. It's not considered a beged. V'lo mekable tumah. So if you have a 3 by 3 etzba'ot in a bet ashir, it's not mekabel tumah. Because to him it's garbage. He has no use for it. Hachinami Berbi betele kartin, the kartina batel in Rabbi's house. So he says, what? That's a proof. In Rabbi's house, the kartin mamukseh. They don't pick him out of the garbage.
You're making a halacha on items. Some people it's muktzeh, some people
That's exactly the point. That's exactly the point. So we say, Ela Amar Abaye, Ela, throw it out. Abaye is going to say a upshat. You know why Rabbi was matir to be metaltel? Machta be'efra. Midi dahave agraf shel re'i. Like graf shel re'i. What's graf shel re'i? Just like you have the court to Iowa, and you're allowed to take it out because it's disgusting. So to over here, you're allowed to take out the. You're allowed to take out this mahda that has efer because it's already disgusting. You don't want it in your face. So the heter of graf sharei applies when you have something muktzeh, even muktzeh mehamat gufo. That's disgusting. You're allowed to carry it outside to prevent it from being disgusted. So to Rabbi Rumanus, the thing was full of ashes. It was getting them nervous. He picked it up. He carried it outside. Says the Gemara, Amar Rava, Sheteh teshubot bedavar. There's two answers to your pshat Abaye. Hada, answer number one, Gerav shel re'i ma'is, haylo ma'is. Gerav shel re'i is ma'us. It smells. It's that. Haylo ma'is. Ashes is not ma'is. Ve'od, worse than that, Gerav shel re'i meguleh. The graf shorei is uncovered. That's why we allow you to take it out. Hi michsi. This mahta is not uncovered. It has a cover on it. Look in Rashi. Graf kli cheres har muchan lekach. Michsi kol mahtot mechusoten. The mahtot were covered. V'yesh bahem nekavim lo tziareach. They have holes for the smell, for the good smell to come out. Ela. Amar Rava, ki havinam be Rav Nachman. In Rav Nachman says, I'll tell you the pshat in Rebbe. Have metaltalinan kenuna agav kitma, ve'af agav diika aleha shivre etzim. So he says like this, the opposite. The fire pan is a keli. It's klish machtul isul eter, but that's not the problem. And the efer is good. The effort is not muktzeh, the opposite. Till now we're thinking the effort is muktzeh. No, the effort is not muktzeh. Why? Either he thought about it before, or he holds like Rabbi Shimon, or something to that effect. And so what's the problem? The fire pan is not muktzeh. The ashes are not muktzeh. What do you need heter for? Hello, Rabbi was matimi to carry a cup of coffee. So no. V'afagav te'ika aleh shivre etzim. Not all the wood burnt all the way. So the wood is muktzeh, firewood is muktzeh on Shabbat. Even though there's small pieces of etzim, it's mutar because the wood is batel to the ashes. Let's see Rashi. Kenuna, we used to carry kenuna kline hoshet shemivi'im bo ha'ur lifnei sarim lithamim. There was no bisamim in there. They brought like a little thing with fire burning, and it would keep them warm. Put it next to them. It's like a personal space heater, right? Agav kitma. What cordless space heater. Right. Agav kitmeh shayu tzirichim leefro. If we need, so now we had this kenuna that it burnt out. Right? It totally, now there's only ashes left. Agav kitmeh shayu tzirichim leefro. If they needed the ashes lechasot rokot tzot to cover some dirt in the house. V'em tomar, if you're going to say matzad isur yesh kan. So what's the isur? So he said. Even though there's some unburnt little wood pieces, it was the mahta be'efra, the kamar mahta. He let him carry the mahta, the fire pan, b'shvil efra, because of the ashes. Shahaya tzarich lo, he needed the ashes. V'da'atayu aleh, his mind was on him etmol from yesterday that he's going to use the ashes. He had ashes from yesterday, Tosfos says. V'rabuta ashmoina, stikshmi achidush. Avol gav di'ika ale shevre etzim. Even though there's some leftover pieces, to have a kalkalav shel perot. It's like a basket of perot v'avim betocha. It's mutar.
They don't let anything go to waste, huh?
Yeah, it was pretty efficient society, right? Okay.
Rabbi Shimon comes up with all these items that allow him to do stuff? You're going to use it.
Compare it to a fruit basket. What's the hadush?
Hey, Chami, I don't know. Tosafot says, Afal gav the ika ale shevre etzim. You see, Bobby, look in Tosfot. Afal gav the ika ale shevre etzim. נראה לרבנותם דשברי עצים חשיב יתפה מאבן שבכלכלה. The pieces of wood are more חשוב than the אבן. דאם לא כן, מה כמשמע להם? What would be the חידוש? It's a משנה. והאדמה כשאלה מברייתא דשבין, לסייעי ממתניתין דכלכלה והאבן בתוכה. אלא שברי עצים חשיב יתפה. ויש לדמות שברי עצים לגבי אפר, כשברי פתילה לגבי שמן. Over there, they're similar. Shivrei etzim by Efer is an equal, like the Shivrei Petila by Shem. It's the next question. Let's see. The Gemara says, Meitive, so we'll ask a question to Rava. Veshavin, everybody agrees. She'em yesh ba Shivrei Petila. You have this ner, right? Went out. You want to take it and you want to use it to do something with it. As we said, if you hold ner yashan is asur, it's muktzeh mehamam yus, it's asur. If you hold ner yashan, you don't know muktzeh mehamam yus, it's mutar. The Gemara says, Veshavin, Rabbi Yehuda and Rabbi Shimon, who argued about ner yashan, agree, Shem yesh ba shevrei petila, if there's broken petila strands there, she'asur letaltel, you're not allowed to move it. Why? Because it's hashuv. Because the petila is a kli shemlachto le'isur. Or maybe it's muksema. Maybe it's not even a keli, the petila. I don't know. Let's see. Rashi says, "V'shavin Rabbi Yehuda Rabbi Shimon shenechlaku b'ner yashan." That if you have shivrei petila, it's muktzeh. I guess it stops being a keli. It's just a petila. It's like etzim. Etzim is what's called. It's like shivrei etzim. Shivrei petila is like shivrei etzim. You might take it back and use it again. Says the Gemara, Amar Abaye, no problem. Beglila shanu. It's in the Galil. In the Galil, they were cheap. To them, there's a petila. That's very hashub. Now, I don't so understand the question. Hare, what's the heter in the ner? Oh, it must be talking that there's leftover oil. If you tell me there's leftover oil, then I hear it. Because the Rabbi Shimon holds the leftover oil is not muktzeh. The petila is muktzeh. So the leftover oil should be matirit agav the what's it called? Even though the petila is there, let the leftover oil be like the knuna, be like the esh. Is like the shivrei petila, be like the shivrei etzim. And according to Rebbe, you would say it's mutar.
Shivrei petila is reusable.
What?
Must be reusable.
If it's not, if you can't use it for anything, then it's not hashuv. No, I don't have to be choshesh. He knows what he's doing. Every time you have some, he just wants to pour the oil on his salad, according to Rabbi Shimon, because Rabbi Shimon says when the thing goes out, you're allowed to move the shemen. Yeah. Pirush the Ritva. Da'afilu the Rabbi Shimon. Shematil etaltel motar hashemen shebaner. He allows you to move the leftover oil. Modeh shem yesh ba shevrei petila. If there's leftover wick, she'asul etaltel mishum shevrei petila. She'enam bartiltul de lo hazu. V'kasher leRav Nachman. Deshari afagav de'ika ale shevrei etzim. Okay. So we say, Amar Abaye beglila shanu. It's talking in the Galil. What happens in the Galil, Rashi? Shehashuvot lahem shevrei petila. Why do they, in the Galil, they reuse their wicks a lot? She'em begadim shel pishtan mitzuyin lahem. They didn't have a lot of bigdei pishtan. Hilkach lo batli. Therefore, it's not batel. V'na'asa ner basis lahem. The leftover wick is more important than the oil. So therefore, the main thing in the ner it's a basis to the shivrei petila. What? So the oil is less chashuv. Because Tosa wants to say that they had a lot of big pishtan too. Okay. That seems to be the end of the sugya. Levi bar Shmuel, now we have a new topic. Levi bar Shmuel, Ashkehinu l'Rabbi Abba u'l'Rav Huna bar Chiya. He found Rabbi Abba and Rav Huna bar Chiya. Tahavu kaimi apitcha de Rav Huna. They were standing by the door of Rav Huna's house. Amarlu, he told them, Maula hazir mitashel tarsiim b'Shabbat. Could you put together the tarsim bed on Shabbat? Rashi, tarsiim, sorfei nechoshet. Either they're copper smelters, or gardim, or they're weavers. Ve'olchim me'il le'il mlachtan. They travel from city to city to do their work. Ve'nosim imahem mitot shel perakim. They carried a bed that could be put together. So they told him, Amar Amruleh, they told him who? Rav Huna bar Chiya. And Rabbi Abba told him, Mutar, Shapir Dami, it's okay. Ata lekamed Rav Yehuda. He came to Rav Yehuda. Amar, ha Ravu Shmuel, the Amri Tarvayu, Hamahazir mitashel tarsiim b'Shabbat, chayav hatat. They hold if you put it together on Shabbat, you chayav hatat. Rashi says, Hu techilato v'gomro. That's the finishing, or tachlito v'gomro. V'nimtza oseh keli v'chayav mishum akeh patish. You're finishing a keli. You're putting the final stop. Av lechol gomrei melacha. Whoever finishes something is chayav for finishing the melacha. V'lo mishum binyan. You can't be chayav for building. The em binyan bekelim. Rashi's of the opinion you never have binyan bekelim. It's a machloket bet shamayim bet Hillel in Masechet Betzah, and Rashi says you never have binyan bekelim. What? That we'll see about the snap and go soon. There's what's the oil? It's not made for an oil. It's not made for that. Who says? Tosafot later. Tosafot later argues. Tosafot on Kufbet says, "Va'af agav de kaimalan en binyan bekelim, omer ri dainu dafka behazarat batetrisim, o b'menorah shel cholyot, aval binyan gamur mechayev bekelim, kemo bekarka, kedamrina besof perek ira, gabe mitah shel tarsim, im taka hayav hatat." Coming up a little bit later. He thinks it's all to all. Our sugya, whatever we're going to say is chayav mishum binyan. Binyan, there's a difference between a partial binyan and a binyan gamur. If it's a binyan gamur, Tosafot thinks it's chayav mishum boneh. Rashi holds en binyan bekelim. You chayav mishum akeh patish. No, but when you make something that totally wasn't a bed and you totally make it into a bed every time, it's a binyan gamur.
You said over there takam must be in the ground.
No, let's see. So the Gemara says. He's quoting our sugya. So he told, no, if you machzir mitashel tarsim b'Shabbat chayav chatat. You guys are matir, he holds it's chayav chatat. Meiti will ask a question. Hamahazir kene menorah b'Shabbat chayav chatat. If you put the branches of the menorah of the candelabra in on Shabbat, you chayav chatat. Why? Because that's Rashi says it's, not that it's permanent, but it's tikkun. Menorah שיוצאים ממנה קנים לנרות הרבה ונוטלים ממנה, you take it out. ובשעת הצורך מחזירים אותו. So that חייב חטאת. קנה סיידין לא יחזיר, ומחזיר פטור אבל אסור. The sayad is the guy that puts like plaster on the side or the paint. So you ever see the guys that have these things that they stick in sections and they go up like the window washer and then they take them out and they put it away. So he's putting them back in. He's sticking one into the other. That guy is patur. Why? Rashi says patur she'ent kaneh shel sayadin. Hatachinu malbenina bayit b'si. The people that they whitewash the houses, yesh lahem kanim shel perakim. They have take apart sticks. V'notnim atlit berosha. They put a shmata on the top. V'shorim b'sid hamachoy, and they soak it in seed. V'tach et habayit, and he plasters the house. Ochshu tachmi lemata, when he's doing it on the bottom. If Sharlo Ela Bekane Chatzar, he needs a short stick. When he gets higher, Mosif Kane al Kane, he adds stick into stick. Umarichon, he makes it long. Patur, She'en ze gomro. You can't say that's the finishing. Shareh tzarich lachzor u'furko tamid. He's constantly taking it away and putting it back. So that's patur aval asur. Ma she'en ken the menorah is chayav. Why? Because he doesn't have to always take it out. So he says, Rabbi Simai Omer Rabbi Simai says, Keren agula hayav, Keren peshuta patur. Those are Rashi says it's two types of musical instruments. Keren agula and Keren peshuta. Shenehem min kle zemed. They're both musical. Vehu asui nekavim. It's made with holes. Kekivara na halulim Jack. What? I don't know if it's a chalil. Nekavim kekivara like a sieve. Umachniz bahem halilim. You put in little flutes. Umotziim kolot harbe. And a lot of different what's. It sounds almost like a bagpipe, right? Keren agula ma'ase umanu. It's a professional item to put it back. V'tzarich litkoa benekavim behozik. You have to stick it in strong. V'havya melacha, that makes it a melacha. Ubekeren pashut, in the common one, machniso berevach, he puts it in loose. V'darkan lefarkam tamid, they take it apart all the time. Upatur. Katani miya we see bekene menorah de hayav. You hayav if you put the pieces of the menorah in. Vu adin lemitah shel tarsim. The same thing by the mitah shel tarsim. Wow. Forget that.
It's hard to put it in.
I don't know that the kene menorah was hard.
No, but that's what Rashi's trying to point to.
No, keren agula, he says maaseh uman. That's the Simai. But the Tanakama said even the kene menorah, which maybe wasn't a maaseh uman, is still hayav. Because you don't take it apart as often as the kaneh shel sayadin. The kaneh shel sayadin does constantly. Masha'en ken the mitah shel tarsim and the kene menorah. Maybe he sets up for a week. I don't know how long he sets it up. Maybe he sets it up for a month.
Why you had to add machniso berevach? It's easy to put it.
Wouldn't the item be mukseh?
Wow. Yeah, we're not discussing mukseh or not. Mukseh, he's over on mukseh. I wonder if it's chayav or not. Yeah. Enu de amur, so Rabbi Abba and Rav Huna bar Chia, they're saying ki hai tana, like this tana. The Tanya, malbenot hamita, v'kar'ot hamita, v'levahim shel sakivas, lo yachzir. So Rashi says, malbenot hamita, ke'en raglaim ketanim, little legs, v'yesh lahem bet kibul. They could hold things. Umachnis letochan karei hamita shelo yirkevu ba'aretz. It's some sort of a end for the leg of the bed so that it doesn't rot on the ground. Or ragle mita, karot mita, extra bed feet. Velavahim shel sakivas. Et katan kemin daf. It's like a little shelf. Shetokim bekeshet. Shekorin ablastra. She'alav moshe chachet. So it's some sort of arrow guide. You have it's like a, I can't say it's like one of the sights that they put on the rifles, but they would put a little thing into the bow so that when they pull, the arrow will ride on it. Right? Lo yahzir, you're not allowed to put it in on Shabbat. Ve'im yahzir, and if you put it in on Shabbat, patur aval asur. It's patur. Ve'lo yitka, and you're not allowed to put it in strongly. And if you put it in strongly, hayav hatat. So the Tanakama holds weak is patur, strong is hayav. Rashbag says, if it was weak, mutar. You're allowed to put it in altogether. It's not patur, it's mutar. So they hold, Rav Huna, bar Chia, and Rabbi Abba hold that the mitah shel tarsim was rafui, and it's mutar, like Rashbag. Tosfot says, Rashbag Omer Maya Rafui Mutarul El by the mitah shel what's it called? Ma'iri berafui. It's talking that it's soft. Uktzat kasher the heichi pligi kule. How could there be such a polar mahloke? More mechayev hatat. Rav and Shmuel mechayev hatat. Umor shari and they hold it's mutar lechatchila. Ve'od ha'em binyan v'stira bekelim. If it's not a binyan gamur. Ve'od tikshel Rav Yudah. Hach braita deleka tana de mechayev hatat. This braita nobody said you hayev hatat. ויש לומר דהכי כאמר לאל. הרב ושמואל דאמרי תרווי המחזיר מיתה של תשים בשבת חייב חטאת כשאינו רפוי, if it's tight. ואם כן ברפוי, אין סברה להטיל לכתחילה. If you have hatat on a chozek, then by rafui you have to be gozer atu bechozek. Ma she'en ken if bechozek is patur aval asur, then berafui you can be mekel. What's the difference between yitka and bechozek? Even this Tana holds v'lo yitka ve'im taka hayav hatat. Doesn't say that. Only taka. Kanere Rav is mehayev. Rav is mehayev behazaka afilu below taka. And they hold only taka. And I don't have to make a gezerah atu taka. I have to make a gezerah atu behozik. But taka is like you nailed it in. That I don't have to make. Al yedei yetedot, Rashi says. Shemi yitka behodik al yedei yetedot shikorin fins. You're going to put pins in. That's when it's hayav. But if nails. Right.
Because it's finishing, right? It's finishing the job.
Not because, maybe maket masminim is maket patish. Ber Rav Hama have a mita galalanita. In Rav Hama's house, they had one of these take-apart beds. Have it. Rashi says v'hu ke'en shel tarsim. Have a mehadri le b'yom atava. They used to put it back together on Yom Tov. Amar le haomer Rabbanan le Rava. One rabbi told the Rava, "My da'atich binyamin atzad hi." Yani mepenei she'ena tok'a umehadeka bechozek, because he's not sticking it in hard. Kari le min atzad al yedei shinui. It's unusual. Nehi di isura deoraita leka isura derabana miya'ika, like it says v'lo yitka. No, aval asur. So he says, "Amale ana kerash bag svirali. The amar maya rafui mutar." He holds if it's rafui, it's mutar, because it's two gezerot away. Rafui atu hazak and hazak atu yitka. What? Sukkabed. So there you have it. So it says the halacha is like that, and so on. Notnim keli tahataner lekabel nitzotzot. You're allowed to put a keli under the ner to catch the drops. Not the drops, to catch the sparks. But you can't put water in it. Because the water, or because he is putting out the fire. Says the Gemara, how you allowed to put a keli to catch the nitzotzot? When the nitzotzot are muktzeh, they fall into the pan, they're going to make it muktzeh. So he says, Amar Rav Huna bered Rav Yoshua, nitzotzot en by mamash. No. Nitzotzot, once they go out, they're nothing. They're insignificant. They can't be mevatel the keli. If you look in Rashi, en by mamash, mi shekabu umutar. Anyone with me? Wow, umutar. It's the next word. Litlan. What's litlan? To carry the nitzotzot? Litlan, to carry them. The what? That I'm happy if you say that. Litlan, to carry them, is hard to say the vessel. So that's why in my book there's a Haggadah that says that someone had changed it litlo. You have litlo? Okay, they changed it. Yours says litlan. No, umutar litlan. En by mamash. Umutar litlan. Where are you? No, the second one.
The second one.
En by mamash. Misha kabu. Litlan. Litlan sounds like you could actually pick up the sparks. How does it? Nobody ever claimed that the sparks are not muktzeh. The most they're claiming is that the sparks are insignificant and therefore they can't make the keli
mevatel kli me'echano.
Sometimes you see, it's like it's a burning ember.
I know what it is, but what is it? Because it's the flash of a second. and
Hazal baruch. When it lands on the thing and it goes out. Now you have this little piece of black there. So you can tell me what that's now. It's not
It's a
muktzeh.
piece of black that you're talking about?
Yeah. What is it? Well, that you're allowed to pick that up? For what? For what? It's nolad. It's something. It should be muktzeh. Right? So l'chaora, that's why they changed the mutalit lo, meaning so you're still allowed to move the keli because they're insignificant, and since they're insignificant and you're allowed to move the keli, you can't say it's mevatel kli mechano. But the way that we have Rashi mutalit lan is very difficult. Yeah, sometimes it does. You have the same problem, Rashi on Mem Gimel. Umutar litlan, achar shenaflu betocho. נראה לי דטעות סופר וצריך לומר לתלו. דהיינו הכלי. מגן אברהם, whatever, the whole story. Okay.
אין בהם ממש. ולא ייתן לתוכו מים, you can't put water in the keli מפני שהוא מכבה, because you're putting out the fire. למה תנן סתמה כרבי יוסי? לכאורה, that would make a סתם משנה like רבי יוסי. דאמר גורם לכיבוי אסור. Rabbi Yossi holds extinguishing is asur on Shabbat. Look in Rashi, Rabbi Yossi, Bekol Kitvei HaKodesh. Perikol Kitvei talks about a fire on Shabbat. The Katani, it says, Oseh Mechitza Bekol HaKilim. You're allowed to make a wall with all, you have a fire burning, you want to stop it from going. So you can't put out the fire on Shabbat, it's Mechabeh. So take Kilim, fill them up with water, and put them, so it will block the fire. You make a firewall to stop the fire from passing. The kelim are not going to burn, and they won't let the fire pass. Ben meleim, whether they're full. Ben rekanim, whether they're empty. Kedei shelo ta'avor adelika. Rabbi Yossi oser beklei cheres hadashim meleim mayim. Rabbi Yossi says if you take brand new clay jugs and you fill them with water, it's asur. She'en yecholim lekabel ha'ur. They can't take the fire. Vehen mitbak'im, they bust. Umechabina tedeleka, the water comes out and puts out. Sounds like the best answer, right? Make a wall of water balloons, right? Boom, let it all go out. So no, you're not allowed. Why? Gram kibui. You're causing kibui. If you put wall and it stops the fire from going and the fire burns itself out, leave me alone. I didn't do anything. But if I'm going to make something that's going to attack the fire, even though it's a delayed reaction, it was caused. The fire came here. And that triggered the water to come on that. Rabbi Yossi holds it. Rabbi Yossi holds it's asur. So lechaora, the same thing over here. If you put water in the pan, it's the same thing. You put water in the pan, the spark is going to come up. It's going to come down, land in the pan. That's the same gram kibui, like the wall of water. Water puts out fire. That's what we learn, right? So when you put the water in the tray on the table, because he doesn't want them to keep burning, it's gram kibui. You're causing it. So it must be out. According to the Tanakama, they'll let you put the water over there in the barrel. L'chaor over here. Also, he should let you put the water.
Same thing. You're waiting for
If you set up a sprinkler system on Shabbat, that's a mahloket. Be mahloket. Over here, he set up from before Shabbat.
It's still going to happen.
First of all, there's a big difference. He set up the sprinkler system before there's a fire. So the Gemara says, Lema.
The sprinkler system before there's a fire. Okay.
And before Shabbat. Lema tenan, let's see. Lema tenan stama ke Rabbi Yossi. Must be our Mishnahs like Rabbi Yossi. Da amar gorem lekibui asur. Fetizbera. Eimur da amar Rabbi Yossi b'Shabbat. Be'erev Shabbat mi amud, does he not let you set it up from before Shabbat? V'chi teima, what are you going to say? Hachanami b'Shabbat. Over here also what we're saying, you're not allowed to put water in the keli is only on Shabbat. It's not true. V'hatanya, notnim kelita hataneh lekabel nitzotzot b'Shabbat. You're allowed to put a keli to catch the sparks on Shabbat, because Jimmy doesn't want holes in his tablecloth. Right? Ve'en tzarich lomar, and of course I could put it be'erev Shabbat. V'lo yiten letocho mayim, you can't put water on it, mepenei shu mechabeh, because it's putting out the fire. Me'erev Shabbat, even on Friday, you can't put the water in. Ve'en tzarich lomar b'Shabbat, and I don't have to tell you that you're not allowed to put the water in on Shabbat. So even Rabbi Yossi, if you want to say Mishnah as Rabbi Yossi, it's not going to help you because he wouldn't be osir on Friday. Even the firewall, he's only osir on Shabbat, not before Shabbat. Says the Gemara, Ella Amar Rav Ashi Afilu Tema Rabbanan. They would agree over here. Shani Hacha over here is different. Mekarev et kibuyav. You're bringing the kibui closer. Why is that different? Very difficult. Ella Amar Rav Ashi, Rashi. Matniti nafilu Rabbanan goes Rabbanan. Delo dami legorem kibui. It's not like ram kibui dahatam. Kimati dleka lekelim. When the deleka comes to the kelim, deleka hu depak alehu. It's the deleka itself that causes the kelim to bust open. The grama be'amahu, that's a grama. That's being caused. I put the kelim here. The kelim, the way they are not going to put out the fire. The fire has to act on the kelim to get the kelim to open up and give the water. That's gram kibui. The grama be'amahu. Aval zeh, leave Sha'on Shabbat for now. Aval zeh shenatan hamayim mamash tachat hakeli. But this guy that put the water under the keli, the fire doesn't have to cause the water to do anything. The way you put the water, it's putting it out directly.
Because water takes out fire.
Right. There's nothing. It's direct. Over there, the fire is going to burn up the keli, and then it's going to put it out. That's indirect. That's grama. But over here, where the fire itself, the water directly is putting out the fire, that's not grama. So it seems from here that even though it's delayed, it's not happening right away. I put down the keli here, and until the kid gets in, it's not. I'm not doing it directly. But since I put something that will directly put it out, that's not grama anymore. It seems.
But eventually the spark is going to fly out. You know when you see those guys...
Candles also go out eventually.
No, but they spark out in the air even.
Hazal Baruch. Candles also go out, but I put it out early. This spark...
No, you're not understanding.
But no, I understand you, Bobby, but eventually I put it out before it would have gone out.
You did it quicker?
Right?
Okay, yes, because it landed there, yes. Okay.
So that's the mechabeh.
Okay.
So we say, Rashi says, "Shemekarevet kibuyo, mekarev zman kibuyo." I make it go out early lehedya directly, not indirectly. Indirectly is when the fire comes down and breaks the thinger. Over here, it's direct. The water's there.
By putting a keli even without water, aren't you also doing the same thing?
No,
Why
I'm
not?
just stopping it from setting my table on fire. It's
Putting
gonna
it out faster.
no, it's gonna burn itself out.
It's going to go out anyway.
It's going
But it
out.
would take longer to burn out if it didn't
No,
have a keli.
no, not
It had
true.
to it had to travel further down.
No, it's not burning. It's going to burn out at the same time. It's just
It
laying.
burns out once it touches the keli, no?
No,
Once it touches
not
something.
true. No, it stays burning in the keli. Only if there's water, it goes out. Put a match on the tray. Is it going to burn out right away?
It dances a little bit.
Not burning out right away.
So once it makes
So Rashi says, "Havale mechabe mamash, ihaviyai v'le b'Shabbat." If you put it on Shabbat, it would be mechabe. So we made a gezerah erev Shabbat atu Shabbat because people don't see it like that. Sounds like from Rashi that it's a gezerah, it's a deoraita on Shabbat. Tosafot doesn't seem to say that. Mepnei shemekarev et kibuyav, pirush tegazrinan erev Shabbat atu Shabbat. ובשבת יכול לבוא לידי כיבוי how? אם יגביה הכלי בשעת נפילת הניצוצות. Let's say I have the keli full of water here, right? Now I go like this. That's not gram kibui. Kibui mamash. But that's if possible. The nitzotzot, the little wishy-washy things falling down. I can't see. I go like this. I put it out. So it's not because there's, like Rashi says, that there's when the fire doesn't have to react with the keli when it goes directly, that it's a deoraita. No, it's not a deoraita. You could come to a deoraita if you'll pick it up, you'll go catch it. Jimmy put it here. He doesn't want his table to go on fire. There's one going that way. He catches it. He's playing flame catcher on Friday night, right? Ve'im tomar ma'ishna. Okay, leave that out. Okay, let's good question. No, ma'ishna shriyat do misabanim uperisat mitzuda desharim beperek hamayim hashemesh v'hacha asrinim erev Shabbat. He says, you let me spread the trap on Shabbat. You let me be shored yo. You let me do all those melachot right before Shabbat. You didn't say, if I let you do before Shabbat, you come to do it on Shabbat. Over here, you tell me if you put water on before Shabbat, you might come to put the water on Shabbat and you chayav. Piret araporat. Kahatam leka lemecha shemi asekem b'Shabbat hu av melachahim. אבל האחא איקה למכה שדולו דמי איסור כל כך במה שמניח כלי תחת הניתותות. ואיקה למכה שמי יבוא לידי כיבוי שיתחיל ליתן המים קודם נטילת הניתותות. וקודם כבר הנתינה יפלו ומכבה בידיים, או שיגביה כאילו עם המים. It says over there, what's the guy going to do? He's going to trap the thing? He knows he's not going to trap it. It's clear. He's running with the lasso, he's not going to do that. Mashenkin over here, I'm just pouring water in a tray. I don't think I'm doing anything. And I don't realize that right as I'm pouring, there's one falling in. So therefore we have to make it asur even before Shabbat. Even though technically, even if you put it out, it's only into the Rabbanan L'cha Shenchal Gufa. Hechmiru atu kibui de Chov Hatat. Since there's a kibui that Chayav, the Rabbanan will mahmir over here. Ve'afal gav da'ave gezerah legezerah, kimlu l'Rabbanan, da'acha she'ach tafil l'migzat fei. Over here they have to. Ve'Rashi de Piresh, da'ave mechabe mamash. And Rashi that said it's a deoraita. Lav davka. He didn't mean that. Ela shiachol avoli de kibui. Rashi means you could come to kibui. That's hard. You read Rashi down the book. Rabbeinu Tam garis k'pius rach. Mipnei shemitaref kibui. והטעם הוא דשארי לעשות מחיצה מכלים שיש בתוכן מים שאינו מכבה כלום עד שידבקו הכלים, אבל לאחר אין הפסק במים למזדתות, ומיד נחבוט כשנוח לו בכלי, ואהבה כמחיצת מים ועשירה, כגון מחיצת שלג ופרה. I don't know if Rabbeinu Tam means Doraita, but Rabbeinu, but he says, similar to what we said in the need to have a separation between the fire and the keep. So if you have a mechitza of kelim filled with water, so the cheres is separating the water and the fire, so that's not keeping. When you make, let's say you make a mechitza of snow, that's keeping. There's no mechitza. Like ice, that's no good. So it's back and forth, that's the famous shita. Adran Allah, Peretira. Bame tomnim, ubame en tomnim. With what do you let it insulate and what do you not let it insulate? Rashi. Abal salek yederam al gabet kila. You want to take your pot off the fire. With a tomna. And you want to insulate it with davar acher, with something else. The Amr Chachamim, the rabbi said, en tomnim b'davar mosif aval. You not let it insulate with something that adds heat, like we learned on Daf Mem. Ela b'davar ma'amid aval. It has to be something, even on Friday, it has to be something that just holds it, not burning and heavy. Me, who I'm on to what are the things that add heat in the first place? So it's not Luskata. It's Lamed told me, but what do you let it insulate on Friday? And what do you not let it insulate? And told me, go be Gefet. Gefet is Rashi Lesolet Shobet Abba. The leftovers of the pressing house, so shemen of oil. Rashi doesn't want to get involved in the or olives because that's not looking in the Gemara. So like we said before, all those organic things, as they decompose, there's a slow oxidation and they release heat. The lob is zevel, same story. Zevel, it could even be manure or whatever, but that stuff, it releases heat. Lob melach, not with salt. I don't know exactly which type of salt releases heat, but that maybe there was salt. I think so. A little bit seed. Seed is not plaster, it's quick one. When you burn limestone, and then you can mix it with something quick. Quick lime is, as it's sitting there, it heats up. You know, I saw this morning on Wikipedia that the word in the limelight,
comes because they used to use lime. Lime is, besides for that, you can heat the lime up to 2,600 degrees and then it gives a tremendous glow. They used to use that as theater before they had electric light. So that's in the limelight.
That's the first spot.
Yeah, but it heats up. It heats itself. It heats up. It will heat up itself, reacting naturally with the carbon dioxide in the air. Right. A little bit seed, a little bit whole. I don't know which type of sand they're talking about that heats itself. Ben lachin, whether they're moist. Ben yeveshin, whether they're dry. Those things heat either way. A little bit tevin, a little bit zagin, a little bit muchin, not with straw, not with zagin is the pit. A little bit muchin is like moist, pieces of fabric. A little bit hasavim and not with bread. Is not in lachin is moist. Those things need moisture in order to oxidize. Aval tomlin ba'en, you can enter the event to bring everything, because then they don't oxidize, they don't release it. We buy it Rashi, lachin, yes, ba'en havel harbe yoter mivesim. Zagim is the source of yoter yain. Muchin, kol davar rach, anything soft, carry muchin. So stuffing, we go into the difference, if we say send the rach of behemah, we get it out, begadim belurim, and worn out clothing. We buy a little. Gefet, shel zetim tenan. This is what the Mishnah says, you're not allowed to insulate with gefet, it's the one that comes from oil. Aval the shumshumin, but the sesame one which is not as hot, shafir dami is okay. Or dilma, or maybe the shumshumin tenan, it's the sesame one. The toshkins is a thing which is even hotter. Tashem, the amar bizera mishum, had the better be a night. The bizera said in the name of somebody who learned in the Yishiva. Kupa shetamamba, you have a box that you insulate it. So you have a box, and it's full of clothing, wrapped clothing or something that's mutar to insulate with them. Asur lahanicha al gefet shel zetim. You're not allowed to put it on top of gefet shel zetim. Because the gefet shel zetim is going to send heat into this equation, and it's going to be from the bottom of the valve. And you see that it's only from olive. If you're putting it directly inside the sumsuminami asuk, because it gives heat too. But it should give heat going up to the next one. Zetim maske havla, the sumsumin lo maske havla. Rashi. Asuk havla kibon ze. Shehet mino b'davar acher. Ve'eniach kupa ala gefer. The gefet is sending heat up to make the tevira and the kupa hot. That's only going to be in a washable with regular akmanazasi. So Safon makes a point. We discussed in the beginning of the last perek, we discussed ma'achal ben derusai, that if we have a raw pot, you're allowed to make shihiyah, or if it's ready to do according to Hananya, it's Mubushal to Ma'achal ben derusai, we say there's no problem, you don't need to leave it on a garuch protection, right? Because it's not going to touch the territory. So the first
Piresh Harav Yosef, Beshem Rabbeinu Shemuel, Temairi, Bebashil Velo Bashil. That it's cooked and not cooked, meaning it started to cook, but it's not yet Ma'achal ben derusai. Basically, he's applying the same heterim that we give for shihiyah. He wants to give to hatmana. So if you want to make hatmana b'davar mosif aval on raw food or on ma'achal ben derusai, it'll be mutar. Aval kedei rechaita, if it's raw or bashil, or if it's cooked sharina beperekama, ve'ender Rabbeinu Tam. Rabbeinu Tam argues. He says no. Those heterim apply only to shihiyah, not to hatmana. Deha'itlan l'ukmim matnitim b'stam kederot shem mevushalo ben hashemashot. So our Mishnah is probably talking about your average type of pot, and we said your average pot is ready cooked ben hashemashot. Ve'od, another pshat, another problem. The mistama ayri matnitin dumyu de matnitin tekira. Our Mishnah is talking the same way the Mishnah of Kira was talking. The Mishnah in Kira, whatever you were talking about, was talking. Even if you hold like Hananya, right? The Mishnah is talking about Ma'achal ben derusai, and when it says Lo Yiten, is Lo Yachzir. But so the Mishnah in Kira is talking Ma'achal ben derusai, and whatever is asur over there. So our Mishnah is also probably talking about the same pot.
and it's ma'achal ben derusai, you're still not allowed to do it. Why not? Hareb, over there, you're not allowed to put it back, but you're allowed to leave it on Friday night. ונראה לבנותם שיש לחלק בין השהה להטמנה. By shehiyah, ma'achal ben derusai is enough. By hatmana, it's not. Devadai l'shahot, to leave it on the fire. Mutar kishu ma'achal ben derusai she'en chitui ma'ad mo'illo. A little bit. V'hashahot mutar kishu k'ma'achal ben derusai. A little bit of stirring is not going to help. Sharei meguleu, it's uncovered. V'shalit be'avira, and there's air there. Cooking, it's going to cook. You want to keep it hot? A little bit of stirring is not going to help. Aval hatmana she'osin letzorech mahar hatmana. Why'd you put it in this insulation? You want to stay hot to tomorrow. Vu mutman, over there, a little bit of stirring will give you enough heat to propel you to tomorrow. That's all I need. Sheme'at chitui mo'ilo letzafes chomo v'gazrinan lehatmin bechol davar mosif aval gezreh shemiyatmin beremetz v'yhateh. So he says there's a fundamental difference. By hatmana, there's no heterim, not kederechaita, and not ma'achal ben derusai. Mashenkin, by shehiyah, you can have those heterim, and that's halacha l'maaseh like this. Baruch Adonai le'olam, amen ve'amen.